Good morning and welcome to another pre-market session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader. And before we get started, let's take a look at our risk disclosure. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with that. All right. So just to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse any security, company, or fund. Use of this information contained herein is to be used as general risk, and the company and its partners, representatives, agents, employees, and contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk, and it's not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital, and only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, forex, or options, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so now that we've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, we're going to go ahead and move into the news portal, okay, and look and see what kind of news do we have today that could potentially impact the markets, okay? So we have, well, obviously, there's with all the geopolitical items and things that are going on, obviously that has already had an impact on the market. We do have, I guess, currently the ambassador of Israel speaking here at 8:15, or as I guess in the process of. And then we have some inflationary numbers or preliminary inflationary numbers coming out of Michigan, okay, here at 10 a.m. Eastern time, okay. So that could certainly have a impact on the markets. And then we have this 11 a.m. meeting by Trump in the National Security Council meeting. Okay, that also could impact the market. So a couple of items here that I think could move the markets, and I think in general, with all the geopolitical items that are going on, the now I guess the geopolitical item that came up in Iran, the existing one that continues to take place in Ukraine. So there's a lot of headline news that could have an impact on the markets. Okay, so we always have to come in the markets with guarded. Okay, and ensure that we've placed we've taken some measures for any sort of downside risk that we could have on any positions that we place. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure and the news, let's go ahead now and take a look at the markets. Okay. Market is already open, is the gold market. Okay. Gold market has been one of the stronger markets, I would say, over an extended period of time. And I think will continue to be a market that's going to benefit from all the uncertainty that we have currently in the world. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the daily. You can see here that we're starting to break some upside structure here that could really lead to our next leg of next leg of price action. Okay, so if I do a little bit of Fibonacci analysis here and kind of maybe do a little forecasting. Okay, hopefully guys, my voice is coming across okay. Trader Dubois and Anthawil. Hopefully it doesn't sound like a tin can. I don't know if that's hopefully it's as clear as my group coaching. If I can get a confirmation along those lines, that would be helpful. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little It's okay. Perfect. Thank you, Infowolf. Okay. All right. So if I do a little bit of Fibonacci analysis here and kind of forecast where this market could go, well, we've already reached the 0.618 extension. Okay, 0.618 extension of this swing. Okay, so we have this swing, we have this pullback, and then I'm basically projecting what the 0.618 extension is. Well, we're there, okay, and then the 100% extension could lead us pretty much up to it says here about 36. Let's call it 36.84. Okay, but I would say if we get that close, about I would say 3,700 obviously is the logical destination for this move. Okay. So we have, given this structure and assuming that we won't know this until the end of the day, but assuming that we can get above the high here. Let's take a look here what that high is. Looks like this 34.50. Okay, if we can get, well, actually a little higher, sorry. If we can get above 3,500, okay, 35, 10, 12, then I would say that if we can close above that, I would say that we have, the possibility of reaching that 3,700 level. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Good morning, Tim. Let's go ahead and move down to the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and move down to the 4-hour chart here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart. Again, you can see here of late that we've made some higher highs and higher lows. This line here is a 2.5 multiplier of an ATR that I'm kind of experimenting with, just to kind of help me gauge the general sentiment of the market. So you can see here that we remain in bullish structure to the upside. Okay. We are starting to break some upside structure here with the development of this bullish candle. You can see on the right with my visible range volume profile that we are in, we are out of balance, indicating that we are in a trend. We are above this area of value, which I identified here at 3,400, okay, is an area of value, right? So if there is if there's a place that we should add to our position, if we are kind of more of a swing trader, 3,400 does appear to be of a location where I would like to potentially participate in this market. 3,400 would be that location. Okay. Now we are well above that. We are day traders. Okay. But 3,400 could come up at some point in the future, and this area could offer us a location for a price to reverse to and reverse from. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and move into the 30-minute chart. Okay. You can see there's the ATR and my daily VWAP. So let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here. We're going to go ahead and drag that to the close here. All right. You can see that we are, well, because of all the geopolitical items, gold had a major move higher. Okay. So price is well above value from yesterday's pricing. Okay, indicating that participants are willing to pay a premium. Okay, willing to pay a premium to be part of this market. Okay, so it appears that we've established again using the volume profile here. You can see that we've established an area here right around 34. Let's say 34, 37. Okay, this area right here does, I guess more of a daily level here. This level here, you can see that we've created a little bit of a double bottom here. Okay, this is an area of potential support. Okay, we're going to go ahead now and open up our anchor VWAP here, get a sense for where price is in relation to the London. Okay. Much like the general market, London was also quite bullish on the gold. Okay, So we're going to go ahead now and open up our initial balance range, not for Asia, but for the normal session here. Was kind of experimenting with some things on the during the Asia time frame. Got me involved a little bit here. Okay, so we are establishing our initial balance range. As you guys all know at this point, the initial balance range is the first hour of trade. Okay, high and low basically establishes the initial balance range. Now we do have an area here that could be resistant up here again around this let's say 34.67 level. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that in as an area, right? You can see that when price got to that level, the market kind of retraced here. Okay, so that is an indication that there are potentially some sellers at that level. Okay, and since it has not been tested, the expectation is that should price come to that level, that could cause the market, I would say, retrace a little bit before it continues in its path to the upside. Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and add our ASR levels here to this market. I'm going to go ahead and use London as our reference level. ASR is the average session range. Okay, so for the New York session, you can see these ranges have moved higher, much like our value areas. Okay, so we are coming close to this average session range high. Okay, again, in a normal market, and I don't know necessarily whether we're in a normal market at this point, but this area here, this 3456.7, could be in addition to what we've already identified as resistant, could be a temporary resistance area, because that represents sort of the average price movement that we can expect to see on average over the last 7 to 14 days in this market. Okay, so this is I would say, kind of a statistical level. Okay, this 3456.6. In order for me to really embrace the longs, which we would be paying a bit of retail up here, I would need to see price, as I mentioned in the arrows here, I would need to see price leave this area, come back and retest maybe the top, in this case, of the initial balance range, and that potentially could offer me a continuation move to the upside. Okay, so headed into the market, headed into the session, I would say that we need to remain patient and identify good price levels, good location to participate in a continuation upside move in this market. Okay, I think the market still is bullish, and again, with all the uncertainty in the markets, I think gold is going to be an instrument that people flock to. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pause here for a moment to see if there's any questions of the audience here. Tim, good to see you. If there's anyone here that is open to a question or two, I'm happy to entertain it. Otherwise, I will go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay, so I don't see anything coming up here, so I'll just go ahead and move on. All right, so looking at the crude oil market, again, we'll start with our daily review of the markets here. Okay, you can see that much like the gold, it benefited from the geopolitical news that we received. Okay, we have the strong push here to the upside as a result of the geopolitical news that we received in Iran. Okay, and as a result, we had a nice upside move in this market. All right, moving down to the 4-hour chart. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn off some of these indicators here for a moment, just to kind of get a better sense of the direction. But you can see here on the 4-hour chart, right, we continue to make higher highs and higher lows. And you can see that the ATR is tracking this market quite nicely, okay, to the upside. Okay, you can see that this ATR trading stop loss is tracking this upside move that we're currently seeing in the market. Okay, Moving down to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so 30-minute chart. This kind of has the same kind of, I would say, kind of look and feel that we just completed on the gold. Okay, I would say that if we can make, we're starting to develop some structure here to the upside, right? We had a nice swing higher, okay, and now we've retraced, okay, retraced to this level, and now we're starting to build higher highs and higher lows in this market, okay. Assuming that we can get above, okay, this level here, 74, okay, then I would say that a move higher, right, hold above, and a retracement back would be a good location around the 74 level, assuming the market participants can prove that they can hold above that level. This would be a logical level for price to continue to the upside. Okay, right now I'm marking it as potential resistance, but this could quickly turn into support. Okay, we do have some support down here based on the ATR down as low as 72. Okay, so basically a 2-point swing here. Okay, but the market is definitely trending to the upside. Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're not quite ready to open up the initial balance because the market is about 10 to 13 minutes away from opening. But what I will do is I will add the ASR here just to get a sense for where we are in the London range. Okay, you can see that we've already exceeded London with respect to ASR here. Okay, I'm not opening New York because the New York session officially has not opened. Even though the CL market has opened, the New York session hasn't opened. Okay, so the tool, right? I'm not going to adjust that until we get to that. But you can see here, right? Once we broke above this level here of 72.65, we came back to retest it, and now we continue to show signs that we are going to continue to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and add our anchor VWAP here, okay, just to get a sense for where London is taking this. You can see London is also quite supportive of this upside move. Okay, we're going to go last item we're going to do here before we move on to other markets. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the fixed range volume profile, okay, and get a sense for where we are with respect to yesterday's pricing. And I think everyone will probably come to the same conclusion, given some of the price activity we had during the overnight, that we probably should be well above here, and that is indeed the case here. Okay, so you can see that we were hovering around the 68 level the moment we got the news that the event that took place in Iran. We got a sharp jump in price. Okay, so again, similar to what we did with the gold market, I'm going to do a little bit of Fibonacci analysis here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and drag this up to the top, drag this back down. Okay, so you have some upside targets in this market. I would say that this 77 level is given this bullish structure that we're in, is very much in the how we say, in the works. I would say I think that is definitely a target that we could potentially look to achieve, possibly even for this session. And then the upside target here is around the 80 level. Okay, that I don't know whether we'll achieve that today, but I think coming up to the highs of the day, or highs of yesterday, does not seem out of the realm of possibilities here. Okay, so much like the gold, the market, the crude oil market does appear to be looking rather bullish. Okay, and so that we need to continue to look for opportunities to the upside. Okay, look for reference levels to the upside. We have a reference level here around 73. I would say that 73, I would say, is the kind of line in the sand that I would look to see to continue to add to my position. Okay, 73 level does appear to be a level that I would that would be quite favorable for a continuation move. Now, assuming we can get above this 74 level, then 74 would be the next logical level for price to a reference level to use for further price action to the upside. Okay. All right. Let's see. Well, I'll pause here for a moment to see if there's any questions related to this here around crude oil. Okay, but I think headed into the market here, guys, we're about 9 minutes away from the open of the session, open of the crude oil session. I would say that the market is looking quite bullish, and that we should look for bullish opportunities in this market. Okay. All right. Moving on to everybody's favorite market, and that's the equities here. Okay. We're going to take a look at the NASDAQ. All right. We're going to go ahead and look at the daily. Now, I was actually waiting for this move during the New York session. We have to be aware, okay, that we are still in rollover. Okay. So this obviously action was taken because of the geopolitical unrest that we received. Okay, but I was expecting to see some sort of reversal in price, given that we were starting to see a little bit of a slowdown in momentum. Okay, so we have this 22,000 level, okay, up above us, that I think will continue to be a resistance zone. Okay, you can see that from the volume profile, and that's exhibited itself here as well, okay, in price. So we're going to go ahead and mark that area as resistant. Okay, that's an area that we need to continue to be aware of as an area of potential resistant to future price action to the upside. Okay, so daily is starting to look still bullish. Okay, but I would say that we're starting to lose a little bit of momentum to the upside. You can see that we're still above my ATR, I should say. But it is indeed losing some momentum. Okay, so assuming that this candle closes in this fashion today, you can see that we've broken below a number of days of price structure to the upside. I would say the next logical level is around this 21,300 level. Okay, if we can get below that, then we could potentially see a further run to the downside. All right, moving down to the 4-hour chart. Okay, you can see now the slowdown, right? We're kind of moving into more consolidating price action, kind of rangy price action. We got that sharp move to the downside as a result of the news that we received, geopolitical news. Okay, so the next level that I would be kind of keen on, right, to see how well price reacts is this area here. Okay, this area here around 21. Let's call it 21,725, let's say. Okay, this is an interesting level for me, all right, because this price, this candle broke what appear to be support here around this level here. Okay, now we are coming back to that level, so the expectation is what was supportive will become resistant. Okay, and this could lead to another move to the downside. Okay, so I would be quite keen in watching this area, this 21,725 level, to see how well price reacts. We're already starting to see some reaction away from it. Okay, moving down to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so you can see that our session ranges are moving lower. Okay, indicating that we're starting to see some bearish price action in this market. I'm going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile and compare yesterday's session to today's price. And again, should not be too much of a surprise that, let's see, right about here. Okay, so it should be not too much of a surprise that price is below value from yesterday. A lot of this is driven by, again, the geopolitical news that drove prices lower. So I'm going to be looking, okay, I'm going to be looking for opportunities, okay, somewhere in this range. Again, right now, what I'm looking at the 30-minute chart, looking at the visible range volume profile here on the right, this area right here, this 21,000, let's call it, I'm going to call it 850, okay, this 850 level. Okay, it does appear to be an area of some resistance. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for opportunities to participate to the downside in this market. Okay, I don't know if there are some Fibonacci folks here, but if we were to take a measure here, okay, and I'm just focused in on the 50% level. But you can see here that this 50% level is coming in right at this 21,725 level. So this area right here is the 50% retracement of this swing, and that could again lead us to another swing lower. All right, now similar to what we did before, okay, using the fib tool, we can go ahead and do a little bit of a measurement on how far this market could go to the downside. Well, we have 21,400 as one level, and this market can get as low as 21,233.50. Okay, that would be the 100%. If I take a measure, right, top to bottom, right, from here to here, okay, and extend that from this location, okay, well, that takes us down to that location. That's how these fib extension tools work. Okay, so we have a couple of downside targets in this market. Okay, so I would say that we need to be wary and look for opportunities to participate in any sort of would need to basically look for price reference levels to support bearish trades in the Nasdaq. Okay, so we've already identified this level here based on the visible range volume profile. The last thing I'm going to do here, since we're still a ways away from the opening, we're going to go ahead and locate the London session here. London. Where's London? There it is. Okay. So London right now. So there's obviously some bullish interest on the London side. We are above VWAP on the daily side as well. Okay, so that could lead to at least maybe some area, maybe repair some of the reaction that we received. Okay, but nonetheless, I don't foresee, at least in today's session, that we will be able to get above or begin to challenge this 22,000 level. Okay, I would expect that we would stall. I would say this whole area. Okay, this whole area could be areas where price, could stall and reverse back to the downside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the Nasdaq. Okay, there's still some downside opportunities, I would say, in this market. Okay, and all right, so pause here for a moment. See if there's any questions on any of the analysis that I made so far, and then also pause here to encourage folks, to encourage me to offer this to not only our subscriber base, our membership, but also to folks who have yet to make that decision to hit the like button, make a comment or two to support this portal. Okay, and to support me in continuing to invest and offering this content to you. Okay. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead now and move into the ES here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do a similar analysis. It's probably going to be similar, different price points, but I think similar in the sense that we're probably going to arrive at the same kind of conclusions here. Okay, but so here we are. As a result of the news, we got a rather strong move to the downside. That move has now been there's been that reaction has now alerted some buyers. Buyers have kind of stepped in. You're welcome, George. So we've gotten a little bit of reaction on the buy side. Okay, but you can see that even prior to that, we started to see a little bit of a slowdown to this upside move. Now we're still above. We're still, if we look at kind of this locally, we still are. I would say probably inside a larger, kind of bearish structure. but it probably have been a bit bullish of late. But that bullish price action has that momentum has kind of stalled here, right? Has kind of slowed down. All right. So we're kind of moving from a market that maybe is in a state of potential transition, right, from bullish to potentially bearish. Okay. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at this on the 4-hour side. Again, you can see that move that we made as a result of the geopolitical news. Okay, so right now we're trying to recover as much of that as we can. So again, this area I see right now, this area right above here, this let's call it 6,000. Okay, 6,000 was a supportive level. Okay, that could be an area, right? That could be an area that where we continue to support a downside move. All right, so it'll be interesting for me to see whether we're able to get above 6,000, and if we're not able to get above 6,000, then I would say that that gives us some data to support a continuation move to the downside. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. All right, so we've already reached some of these ASR zones. There's that 6,000 level. Okay, that was identified by the ASR tool. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile. We're going to start with the to see where price is in relation to yesterday's value. You can see that price is well below value. Okay, again, result of the news that we received yesterday, developments that we had yesterday. Again, we have some upside targets here, some upside areas that we should consider as possible areas for reversal in price. So we have that area there, which is around 6,010. And then obviously this area above, okay, that was created to begin with, this value zone from yesterday, around 6,035, I would also expect to be somewhat resistant to price, okay? So we're still a ways away, about 27 minutes away from the open here. We've got our volume profile. We're going to go ahead and add our anchored VWAP. Okay, I like checking. It gives me a kind of a sense, I should say, of where London stands in all of this. And right now, London appears to be bullish. Okay, there's a lot of bullish activity of late. Price is above our daily VWAP. So as long as price continues to hold here, right, our daily VWAPs and our anchor VWAPs, we could be kind of in a state of somewhat repair. Okay, again, 6,000, 6,010 are a couple of target areas, a couple of reference levels that I'm going to use to see if I could potentially participate in a downside move in this market. Okay, those are going to be the levels that I'm going to target. Now, if I am more bullish on this market, then I need to look at levels like 59.70 or 59.80. Okay, to maybe support a continuation move to the upside. Okay, those would be kind of the areas. If I'm more on the bullish side on the short term. Okay, otherwise, given the newly created structure here, then I need to continue to look for opportunities on the bearish side in this market. And I've identified a couple here around 6,010 and also the 6,000 level could offer us further downside price action. All right. See, we're going to go ahead and pause here to see if there's any comments or two on the markets here. So we'll go ahead and let's see. We're look at the last market of the day. Okay, we'll take a look at the Dow. All right, and we'll start with the daily chart here. Okay, and again, similar look and feel. This 43,000 level is an area of interest. We've come to this area multiple times and have not been able to get above it. Okay, so that area continues to be resistant, and even more so again given the news that we got yesterday. Okay, So we've come into an area that where we could see maybe some further price action to the downside. Okay, we've been in this area before. We've come up to this area, sold off, come up to this area, sold off, come up to this area, and again have sold off. Now the question is, are we? You can see here that the momentum has kind of we have a little bit of an ascending wedge that's been developed here. But again, given the geopolitical news, it's difficult to say whether we will continue again to the downside or whether we'll rally above. Okay, but this 43,000 level does seem to be an area of importance. All right, looking at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay, you can see that we're starting to develop some downside structure in this market. We had a swing lower, came back, didn't even make it back to the highs, and that was met with some sellers. Again, geopolitical. Now we have the move down, and now we're trying to recover. So I would say that the first area, if we're thinking bearish, this first area here is this 42,600. Okay, this was a supportive area. Okay, now that the price has managed to get through it, this area to me appears more resistant. Okay, we can see here our cumulative volume delta is indicating that there's volume coming into the short side in this market. Okay, so we see price action headed higher, but there seems to be a fair amount of interest to the downside. Okay, all right, taking a look at the 30-minute chart here. Okay, so you can see that we're starting to get a little bit of reaction prior to the market, developing a bearish engulfing candle. Again, I'm going to do a little bit of analysis here on the Fibonacci side just to get a sense on how far this could go. Okay, so we have this 42,100 level would be a 61.8 extension, and then we have the 41,800 level. Okay, as maybe a destination for this move. Okay, swing lower, retrace, and then this would be the 100% extension, this 41,800 level. Okay, let's see. We're going to do add our fixed range volume profile here. I think we'll know the answer to this question, but we'll do it nonetheless here. Okay, we're going to drag this across to the close of yesterday's session. Okay, and you can see that price is well below value, indicating that we have participants who are willing to pay a premium to participate in this market to the downside. Okay, so again, we have some levels here at 42,700. We'll go ahead and mark that level, that being ASR high. That could be another area of resistance. So I'm going to be looking for locations, reference levels, where I can take the market to the downside. Okay, the first one being prior support. Okay, this level here was prior support, now becoming resistant. This area here being ASR high, and this area here being value area low from yesterday. All serve as logical price reference levels to support a downside move in this market. All right. Last thing I'm going to do here is add the anchor VWAP here. Okay, so again, we have some interest, at least to the bullish side, during London. Okay, now the question is in the U.S. session, are they going to be equally embrace that view, or whether they're going to use this rally to secure a cheaper bearish trade? Okay, so again, these levels I've identified in red are going to be areas that I'm going to be focusing on for maybe participating to the downside. Okay, so before we close out here, guys, and then also give you guys some time if you do have some questions, we're just going to kind of take a quick peek at the overall markets here. We're going to start off with the gold. The gold continues to push higher to yesterday's highs here. Okay, so the question now becomes: Are we going to develop some structure here that would continue to support an upside move? And I would say that based on the current price action, if we do manage to get above this, let's see, this 3470 level, okay, that could spell for another leg higher. I'm going to be interested to see what kind of behavior we get around this initial balance high, okay, and see if we do indeed get some sort of price action that would indicate that there's maybe some initiative efforts to get above this initial balance zone, okay, initial balance area, and that could support an upside trade, okay, or bullish trade, I should say, uh, in this market, right? So again, looking for price to exceed the initial balance high, hold, and then hold above this initial balance high to give me an opportunity to participate in an upside move. Okay, so going into the session, I would say outside of the fact that we are coming into some highs, if we can break the highs and retest the highs of the initial balance zone, I would say that we should be looking for opportunities, continued opportunities to the upside. Okay, crude oil, again, given the geopolitical unrest, I think offers us continued opportunities here to the upside. Looks like we are at least having some difficulty here around the 74 level. Okay, 74 level, at least for now, does appear to be being defended here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw in. Okay, draw in our little bit of a supply zone here, okay? Not as support, but more resistant to price here, okay? So, and then we're going to go ahead and open up our initial balance. Yeah, there's our initial balance range, okay? So we could see maybe some temporary, maybe a temporary move, given what I'm seeing on the price side. 74 does appear to be an area of resistance. We've come to this level once, reversed, come to this level again, and we found some sellers. Okay, so we really, honestly, in order to kind of support a continued move here, we really need to get above this 74 level. Okay, if we cannot, then I would say that there maybe there is a rotation. Okay, a rotation maybe to locate some buyers again below. Okay, but right now, I'm going to be keen on watching the 74 level and seeing what the 74 level offers me. Okay, so I would say that I continue to be, I guess, cautiously bullish in this market. I don't know. It seems like they're somewhat defending this area here at the moment. Okay, and keeping price lower. Okay, so we could see maybe a move to the downside in the crude oil. Although again, if we get some further evidence or further news, negative news with respect to our ability to secure oil, then that could easily change. But right now, I'm seeing some bearish price action. I'm seeing that the 74 level is being defended as we speak. Okay, so if I do get a break, I'm not going to ignore the fact if we can get below these VWAPs. I'm not going to ignore that fact, and that could provide me another Fibonacci move here. If I do a little analysis, okay, that could lead me down to 70. Okay, 70 could be that logical place that we could reach. Okay, as a result of some of the price action we're seeing currently. And then ultimately, I would say across all the equity markets here, okay, across all the equity markets, I would say that we continue to be somewhat bearish. Okay, I'm gonna wait before I participate in any sort of downside move. I'm gonna wait for price to get below the anchored and the daily VWAP. I'd like to see price get below 21,615, and that might give me the evidence that I need to see to secure maybe a downside opportunity. Okay, I'm also going to be watching some of the levels above me should price continue higher, as some additional price reference levels that could support and allow me to manage risk in another bearish trade here. Okay, so I'm going to pause here, guys. We're about 15 minutes before the open. Pause to members as well as subscribers and anyone else who has yet to subscribe. Pause here to see if there's any questions on anything that I've shared at this point. And if there's maybe a market if there's a market out there that people would like me to take a peek. De nada, Luisa. If there's a market that people would like me to take a peek at, given that we have some time remaining, I'm happy. I'm happy to do that. Okay, so I'll pause here for a few moments to see if there's any interest on that side along those lines for a review of some other market. Otherwise, again, I would encourage you guys to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make a comment or two on the portal on how this analysis is supporting you and your ability to engage in the markets. Okay. All right. Well, so we'll not seeing much in reaction here, so we'll go ahead and close off the session, guys. Wish all the fathers out there in the audience a happy Father's Day. Okay, and so as we close this session, as we close every session, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys, have an excellent day in trading. Okay, and talk again next week. Okay.